Welcome back, guys, to Style Over Substance with me, Scarlett.
And I'm Mim.
And just to say it, this is like the hottest day of the year we're filming.
So far, yeah.
So if we look glowy, forgive us.
Yeah.
But this week we are talking about, I guess, sort of like rented fashion.
Yeah.
Like how we sit with owning or wearing a dress more than once or wearing an outfit more than once, and kind of then also whether we have too many clothes.
Yeah, a broader discussion about how much we have. But you recently rented an outfit for a special occasion, and I think it's really interesting. I've never rented an outfit, so it's just a perfect time to discuss like your experience, who you went with, what it was like, would you recommend? And really, I think we do have to talk about renting so that people who are skeptical about it can be more open to the idea potentially.
Yeah.
When we think about it, men rent tuxes for special occasions, or it might even be tuxes. Sometimes it can be kilts for special weddings.
So
Sometimes it can be uniform, like servicemen, and they might rent a particularly lavish or fancy type of military wear for their wedding or for a royal, occasion or something, where they know they're only going to wear it once. And that's been going on for years and years and years, and it's nothing new. What we see now is women being more open to the idea of renting. Renting outfits has become more of an industry, and it's also not just reserved anymore for the special occasions, but it's like, do you have a garden party to go to? Are you going to Royal Ascot?
Yeah.
Are you going to a friend's wedding as a guest?
Someone's birthday party.
Like all those other occasions in between that we have now become, as women, so accustomed to buying new outfits for, when really we don't need to. And so that is new to us. Renting outfits for that reason, when maybe historically renting outfits is mostly something a guy has been doing.
Yeah, I think so. And like, I think there's a real thing that stops people from renting. And one of that might be like that people don't want to wear clothes someone else has worn.
Yeah.
And I get that, right? But I also think we now are living in a world where so many people buy clothes on Vinted or Depop or eBay or charity shops. Like that is a real thing with the younger generation for sure. Like speaking as a grandma. But I hear that. Of girls who like it's kind of unheard of for them just to go do a shopping spree of full price items. People look to find new outfits like at a discounted price on like Vinted or Depop. Like that's going to be the first place they look. That kind of a thing. And then they'll be only spending a couple of quid on it. So I think people have made their peace with it somewhat.
I think when we were younger, charity shopping became more and more of a thing.
Yeah.
The idea of vintage became more and more of a thing. And I think we needed that wave of secondhand vintage shopping to happen. That walked, so renting could run.
Yeah.
It needed to be a process. We needed to get over the fear of someone's died in that outfit for us to like get to grips with the idea of renting outfits for a special occasion and not keeping it.
Yeah.
You're just renting it for a really short period of time. I think that while buying secondhand has become more popular, even to the extent where you were saying younger people now exclusively buy secondhand, there are still a lot of people out there who think, why would I rent or buy secondhand when I can buy something brand new, which is still equally as cheap?
Yeah. So I think, well, maybe then it's not for you.
Yeah.
But my thing has kind of become that over the years, I've wanted to wear nicer things.
Yes.
And especially for occasions, like I do see a wedding as an opportunity to be like, oh, okay, I don't want to just spend £50 on a dress. I'm willing to spend a bit more.
Yeah.
And so then like, and then there are brands that you get introduced to or admire. And I think there's sort of like, there's like, not, it's not goals, but you aspire to certain brands and you kind of, I'm not going to justify it so much for day-to-day wear, which is messed up because actually you should, because cost per wear, we love a cost
We
per
love a low
wear.
cost per wear.
But you justify it more for special occasions, right? Like, oh, it's like my best friend's wedding. Well, that's never gonna happen again. So of course I'm gonna, you know, like put more effort or spend a bit more on what I'm gonna wear.
Yes.
So I think for me, renting makes sense in a sense of, oh, okay, well, that dress, I really love it, but that's £300. And that's crazy to spend that on just one wear when I can rent it for £40-50.
Yeah.
And so it means that the dresses maybe that I wouldn't like buy myself, I can actually get an opportunity to wear. So it does two things. It stops you spending, even if you were willing to spend £300, it stops you having to part with that cash knowing you're only going to wear it once. Because I've got like 5 dresses in my wardrobe that were wedding outfits that I'm never going to wear again. But it also allows you to wear fashion you may never be able to afford to wear in real life, which is kind of really, really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
It allows you to play dress up. It allows you to have your fantasy Sex in the City moment. It allows you to wear a brand that you would never wear, but also it allows you to take fashion risks. You know?
Yeah.
You're not committing to a purchase. Like if you want to wear a dress that like maybe it doesn't suit you, but you're just having a bit of fun because you're going to your friend's birthday, you can like try it out. And I guess renting to me is the fashion industry's answer to people who used to wear something and return it.
And keep the tags on.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. They're making money out of that concept.
Yeah. Yeah. I think very often another reason why people might not be open to renting is we like to kid ourselves. We like to think, oh, I'm going to buy it and I'm definitely going to wear it like a lot. And you don't.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is such a great everyday piece. I'm going to wear this all the time. I'm going to wear it to the office. I'm going to wear it here, there, and everywhere. And you never do. And then it hoards up, takes up space in your wardrobe and in your life as well as clutter. And so yeah, but I really do like the idea of the fashion risk. Let me buy something bolder, more expensive, more glamorous, more flashy, whatever it might be, and then that's it. And then I return it, and then it's all good.
But I think it works well, but also I wonder if there's an element of a lot of nicer high-end clothing just comes with a dry clean only like care tag.
Yeah.
And that is also probably what stops us from wearing, if say we do want to go buy a £300 dress. Well, you can't wear it that often because you don't want to be heading to the dry cleaners all the time.
And it's like a £40 bill.
Yeah. And so like there's kind of that thing that stops you from, and it stops it from being the everyday item you kidded yourself it was going to be. All of that stuff. Like I've got a dress from a wedding that I went to in December or January. That dress is still waiting to go to the dry cleaners. Because like, I mean, I haven't had a need. I mean, I could have actually worn it at one point, but like,
yeah.
I mean, why would I go to the dry cleaners?
Did I tell you one time when back in the day when I used to work in Harvey Nicks, and this one woman, she only wanted to buy things that were dry clean only. She had money, obviously, because she just couldn't be bothered to do her own laundry.
Oh.
And that is when I found out how the other half lived.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I quite literally have a laundrette like within walking distance of my flat.
Yeah.
But so I think that the renting thing works well because quite literally it gets dry cleaned like after someone uses it. That is paid, like that is factored into the charge of this dress. And that is also then like a reassuring thing. I'm not a huge germaphobe. I would say you would be more like wanting to make sure things are super, super clean.
Okay.
You're way more of like a
okay.
germaphobe than I am.
Okay, yeah,
Because
I'm
just not at all.
Yeah, okay.
Like I obviously don't want
You're not
something
that dirty. Like you are a bit. You
no,
are clean.
yeah, I don't want.
I don't want people thinking that you're disgusting.
No, I more mean like I'm not kind of scared of like someone having worn it before. Do I want to make sure it's been cleaned? For sure. I don't want someone's dirty pits like on mine. But I think that I trust that it's been dry cleaned.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
and so that reassures me when I see dry cleaning on there. I'm like, okay, it's clean.
Don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it arrived looking clean, like all of this stuff. It arrived actually the day before it was meant to. Like, it fit well. It was really nice. The girl was super cute and was like, it's on its way. I hope you like it. So it was almost like an eBay-ish, or like, I'm trying to think, it's like a website that I got it from. It was called Hurr Collective, Hurr.
Oh yeah,
where it's like independent sellers loading their things. So they don't have a warehouse. So this is also such a clever idea, right?
Okay.
They just house these options.
Okay.
And obviously take probably a cut. But like her name, let's call her Emily, is sending it from her house in Clapham to me here. And so like Hurr Collective are just like being the middleman, like, and facilitating it somewhat.
That's an improvement on Rent the Runway, because when reading about Rent the Runway, a massive part of their operation, was it Rent the Runway or another one, was the dry cleaning, and they became like the single biggest dry cleaners in like Europe or something, because it was, and I can't remember if it was Rent the Runway, it was another one, but they became like honestly the biggest dry cleaners in the region, because they had all the items, and they were responsible for processing all the items and shipping it out, which made it a really big operation and quite an expensive one. So I suppose that Hurr Collective has like seen that and improved on it and been like, we don't need to be responsible for all these garments and the upkeep of them. But
the only downside is it relies, I guess, on the everyday person. So the only fear I sort of had was like, if someone's a bit lazy, like, and they don't post it in time, am I gonna get this? But like, I also just have to trust in that, and that's obviously why people get ratings or whatever. But what it more inspired me is I've got some dresses that are kind of nice that I was like, I could try and get a bit of like the money back essentially that I paid for them by posting them on this website. You can like block out essentially when you don't want it to be more like
when it's not available.
Yeah, it's almost like an Airbnb for clothes or like dresses or whatever it might be. But people put shoes on there, people put handbags on there. I would not trust anyone with my handbag.
I could do. I don't know.
I don't know if I'd like someone wearing my clothes. I'll be honest.
It is a. It has to be something I don't.
I'm never gonna wear it again.
Yeah. We're part of the problem, because we're like, people should be more open to renting clothing, but at the same time we're like, but we don't want to wear what we've rented out. I think it's because I'm scared of my stuff being damaged, not dirty, but damaged by other people.
Yeah, I'm happy to damage my own clothes,
of course,
or someone else's.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, I think I would be a bit like annoyed if somebody ruined something of mine.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking I have a couple pieces like skirts that are like sequin, and I think they would be good occasion pieces for someone else. But then I don't want the piece coming back with like
missing sequins
on it and things like that. Yeah, I think I have too much trust issues to be involving myself in that.
But the experience was great. I then just had to return it by a certain date, like signed for delivery, and give them the tracking number. But it was as easy as it could be.
So tell me, what did you rent? I think I know what you rented, but tell the audience.
So and how much was it? A black self-portrait, like knitted dress. I think I can't actually remember what it retails.
I've seen it on the website. Yeah,
it's an expensive dress. I saw it at Christmas time and was like, that's nice. I feel like it was like over £500 this dress.
Really? Wow.
But I also think, I don't know if someone was like posting that to be like, you're getting a really good deal here. But it was like it was definitely like 300-400 pound kind of dress. It was expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I rented it for £48, and that was for 4 days.
Okay.
And included the dry cleaning.
So which courier posted it, and how did you send it back?
I think it was maybe with like the Royal Mail.
Oh, okay.
I definitely posted Royal Mail. I can't think how it arrived, but similar. I think maybe it was even like a different courier. I guess it's whoever she chose.
Okay.
But like it was like really heavily tracked. Like she gave me an update about it. And then yeah, I just had to post it back. And even at one point, I was like, I think there's like makeup on like part of it. I hadn't even bothered to like wipe off, which I probably should have.
Wow.
I was like, it's going to the dry cleaner anyway.
Yeah.
But I also like, because it was a 4-day window, and I think that's like maybe the minimum. I also planned it that like in case I got a bit drunk at this event, that I didn't have to post it back exactly the next day. Because if I'm in a hungover state, you cannot beg me to do anything.
And also, if you're going out on a Saturday, you can't post it on a Sunday. It's not available. Yeah. Like you need to give yourself some time to do that.
I scheduled it in a way for leeway and all of that stuff.
Okay.
But it was just it was a positive experience.
Was your return postage included in the price?
It was not, and it was quite expensive.
Did it cost you about £6?
Yeah. So it's like another hidden cost.
So all in all, maybe about £50.
So it was like a bit, I guess nearly £55 if we round it all up.
Okay.
But equally, like I felt so nice, like quality dresses. I felt so nice in it, and like
this is the thing.
But you know what it made me think?
What?
Like I want this dress.
I was going to ask that, but before we get to that point, I was in Birmingham, Harvey Nichols the other day, and I was killing time, and I was browsing, and I was passing like some of the Fendi bags, the ones that I've seen people carry online and all of that stuff, and you can feel the quality. They don't feel like bags you buy on the high street. They just don't. So when I see people who buy into, I can buy something really cheap for £30 and it looks and feels just as much as something that's £300-400. Don't get me wrong, I buy a lot of Zara stuff, and I've worn Zara stuff to weddings, and I felt great in them, and I felt like they looked good. But I'm not going to pretend that the quality of it is as nice as elevated premium designer clothing out there, because the fabric feels heavier. It feels nicer knit, or some brands are shit, of course, but for the most part, a lot of those more expensive pieces, you can feel the difference,
for sure.
And so it's good, like you notice the difference in your experience.
Yeah, I definitely noticed the experience. So it was like a knitted dress, it was quite like a heavy knit, and I was like worrying about the sizing, because it was probably like it could have been too big, but because it was knitted, like obviously knit stretches, and it was fine, and I also didn't want it to be like too tight. It was a work function. I didn't want to be like, you can see every part of my body.
Well, I saw the pictures.
I mean,
and it didn't look like a work function.
But like, because it was thick, you also don't feel like you're on display. Do you know what I mean?
I get what you mean.
You know when something's a really thin
knit?
Listen,
we've all bought like a boohoo dress that's like bodycon something, and it's giving see-through. And you wear it and you do feel slightly exposed, but I know what you mean. The fabric matters.
So it felt really nice, but the only thing is like, it was kind of like, I wouldn't call it a classic dress because it had a bit of like a cutout in it. But it was the dress that I was like, I could imagine there being another function I could wear it to.
Yeah. But you probably wouldn't.
The honest reality is, I also have a dress that I could have worn to this event in my wardrobe.
Yeah.
Like, quite literally, the dress I wore to Faith's wedding would have been absolutely perfect for it.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I follow an influencer online called Candice Brathwaite, and she talks about where she gets her clothes from, and she rents, I don't know if she's rented outfits, but definitely a good number of bags from Cocoon, I believe it's called. And she says that she's used it as a vehicle to test whether she would like
Yeah.
to commit to the
I think
purchase
that's
fully.
really clever.
Yeah, it is. It's a great way, especially if you're not used to buying designer and the price tag, you're very apprehensive about it, and you just want to like dip your toes into
And the usability of a bag is actually really important. Like, you even joke walking up to my
Yes.
bag to check the zip, but like, there are just certain things where like I want to know how easy it is to actually feasibly use this bag. Like, does it actually fit the amount of things I want in it?
Yeah.
Like, does it suit what I envisaged it for? Because going in a shop and just putting it on doesn't necessarily tell you that.
No. And the YouTube videos that you watch about what's in my bag and how people use it is not the
It's not
same for
honest.
you. And it's, oh my God, those videos where they're like, I don't normally put my phone in my bag, I just carry my phone. And I'm like, that doesn't work for me.
Yeah. But also, what I've thought of as well with rented fashion is, think how celebrities just get loaned a look. And like, the amount, like, so much is offered to even an influencer that they might just be gifted something to wear to an occasion and then they don't have to like buy it. And it's kind of like our equivalent of not having to own something and just getting to play the dress up kind of game.
Yeah, true.
Because I think we sometimes do forget, and this maybe leads on to like a later point, but I think we sometimes forget that we see people in these clothes and it doesn't mean they own them.
People forget that all the time. 100%.
Like, literally, even Amelia Liana she got loaned this really beautiful Lady Dior, like a mini Lady Dior, but just fully sequinedy. It was really quite beautiful, and she got loaned it to go on holiday. But like, if she said it in one of the like clips, but if you don't catch that bit, or you just see all the pictures of her using it, you think she owns that bag.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you might not see it for a while, and then you might just think, well, that was a disposable bag for her.
Yes.
And like, even when people get invited to a show, they might be kitted out in Dior. They've got to return that.
And you know what? That is the one aspect that I forget myself.
Yeah.
Like, I know that people get loaned stuff all the time. But when I see celebs at these runway shows, I forget that they're borrowing the stuff and they have to return it. And you've made the point before. It's like, because we get desensitized, we see, oh, that's a £5,000 bag, that's a £2,000 bag, that's a £3,000 bag. Oh my God, they've spent already almost 10 grand on these 3 items. I need to get my money up. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough this, that, and the other. And those sorts of things become normalized. And then we think we are inadequate because we're not able to live up to that standard, but everyone else seems to be able to. And when really, it's not like people are being deceptive, because these are celebrities and influencers' jobs.
Yeah.
They are there to advertise, but we like to live in the fantasy, and we convince ourselves that these aren't loaned items. So yeah, you're right to make the comparison of like, this is our own chance or opportunity to play dress up and to try new things, and then to decide, okay, I don't actually need to own that. I've had my time with it. I've done my play dressing up thing with it, and yeah. But would you recommend renting?
I would recommend it, and for sure I think I would consider it again. Like, I think I would look to that for weddings or occasions. Like, literally, even the dress I wore to my 30th birthday is like, I'll probably never wear that again.
The pink fluffy one?
Those are the shoes.
Oh,
was it was like sequin.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But like, I'll never wear that again. And like, I just probably spent too much money on the fact that like I'm never going to wear that. But I literally knew that's what I wanted to wear for my 30th birthday.
You're only 31.
Since from the moment I was like 29, I think I was like, that's what I'm going to be wearing. Like I just knew
It
that
looks
I
great.
liked it.
Yeah.
But like, it's now just sat in my wardrobe.
Yeah.
And I've kidded myself that might be the dress I change into on like my wedding day.
I knew this was coming.
But like, I know it won't be.
No, it will definitely.
Of course, it won't be. I've already worn it before.
Because that dress will be couture Chanel.
I am like, manifesting. No, but I really recommend it. And actually, I think I would use it now, even to like, just play around with different designers, see what the fuss is about, and kind of get the opportunity to wear some really nice dresses. I think the biggest risk is on fit, and I went for a knitted dress on purpose.
Okay.
Because you almost then either want to go to a shop if it is current season, try it on, but like sizing obviously is a tricky thing.
Yeah, especially when
I don't know my figure sometimes.
Sometimes if you're not familiar with the brand.
Yeah.
Because I think I shop at the same places all the time because it's like I know what size I'm going to be. But yeah, if you are dibbing and dabbling in brands you've never bought before, then yeah, there is a risk on that. And I think maybe you just need to rent. That's the thing. You don't want to rent too far in advance of the actual event because
then it's more expensive.
Because then it's more expensive. But you might want to do that because you don't want to run the risk of not having a backup option in the end.
I think there was something with mine where if it didn't fit, I could send it back and get like most of my money back.
Okay.
I think there was something like that.
That's good then.
Yeah, I think there was something. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll get it like 2 days before the event. Or like I kind of was like, well, however it fell, I was like, I'll get it. So worst case scenario, I know there's something in my wardrobe that then I'll just have to figure that out, kind of a thing.
So the scheduling thing is a bit tricky. I think that would make people nervous.
So I opted for 4 days because I wanted it to be the price that I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But I think, there were options to make it longer.
Yeah.
But obviously then
it's more expensive.
Yeah. So if you want certainty, you've got to pay for it.
You've got to buy the thing outright. Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
Keep the tag on and then return it.
But I guess also like this leads us on to the fact that we do kid ourselves that we're going to wear stuff more than we actually do. And that leads us on to having too many clothes.
Yeah.
I have far too many, and like, God, you guys will be sick of it because I think I've said it a few times on here. I need to get rid of half my wardrobe.
Yeah.
I do not wear it, like, and I want to try and sell it, so at least then I can invest in my new wardrobe with it. But I've just got so many things I don't wear that I just want to like. If vintage wasn't such a thing, I would just dump it on a charity shop's doorstep.
Yeah.
But I think the idea of like there's genuinely probably like 100 items I could get rid of.
And you can make money from.
So that's money.
Yeah.
Like it feels too,
Yeah.
like unfruitful.
Yeah.
To just dispose of it.
I follow a creator and she is like a luxury fashion girly. Her account is called Slip Into Style, and recently she reflected on a couple of the cruise resort collections that had come out. And one of her points was, do we just have too many items of clothing? Is there too much clothing out there and being pushed on us and being shown and being created? And we've mentioned before how we went from 2 seasons to 4 seasons to 6 seasons a year to perpetual sales to capsule collections on top of resort collections and all of that.
Collaborations.
Yeah, and it's just this continuous newness that we see. And for her to say, as someone whose job it is to style and create content around fashion, for her to say, listen, this is too much. What do you think? Do you think we're going crazy? Or do you enjoy this? Do you think all of this is necessary? I think is a really valid point, and I think it's something we need to ask ourselves you know, every so often reevaluate our exposure to newness. Like, at the end of the day, I don't think the onus can be on the individual person. We are one person trapped within the world we live in. And the world we live in is that our attention is like they're trying to capture our attention to make us buy stuff all the time. And so there's only so much we can do, but I think that we do have to take a step back and think, oh my god, there's a new collection. I mean, like, we have this podcast, but there is no way we can keep up with all the fashion shows that are put out and released and drops and hype and everything all the time. And I think if you're a person who's really susceptible to influence and feeling like you need to chase the next new thing, it's very easy to spend a lot of money on clothing. Yeah, it's insane. But I came across this quote on Business of Fashion, and I just felt like it was perfect for like summing up like our obsession with buying clothes. So it talks about like humans are hardwired to crave newness and a sense of social status and security that has long been linked to dress. That's like the first bit. And I think, like, do you think we're obsessed with how we present to the world?
100%.
And like,
we're obsessed with newness. I think, and if we could have a dream world and if we had unlimited funds, and okay, some people care about the environment, like if that wasn't a factor, I think we'd all show up in a different outfit or with something new. Because that little like adrenaline we get from wearing something new, getting a compliment on like that new item of clothing, a new dress, new earrings, whatever it might be, we love taking something new out for a spin. Like, even like cars get old, you know, like you look up the first week you got your car, you feel like a fucking baller. And then like 6 months down the line, it's the same old car. You maybe don't look after it as nice. Maybe you have let people eat in it. Like, you know, the rules you impose like with something new. And I think then like we just try and keep fueling that like new thing that we want to look after and like all of that stuff. I just there clearly is like a brain chemical that keeps us going back for more.
I think we're obsessed with how we look
to the outside,
and it's weird. It is actually weird. Sometimes I take a step back and I think about it and I'm like, I don't think this is,
it's not good. It's not good. And also I would say I don't think either of us are too into self, but we just we like dressing to express ourselves. We want to look nice, like, but I don't think it comes from even like we're not kind of super into like other people's opinions of us. Do you know what I mean? Like, our sense of self doesn't come from that. But there also has to probably be an element because we like to dress nice. I personally don't think I do it for other people. But if someone tells me I look nice, I'm going to enjoy that.
Yeah, I think
so. It's a really like it's not just vain people doing it. It's not just like really fashionable girlies. Like, I do think it is inherent in everyone.
It is, definitely. And I think that I have made my peace with the idea that I like to shop and I like new stuff. And before,
my name's Miranda. I'm a shopping addict.
Would I call myself an addict?
No, because I think you could control it.
I do think I can control it, but then all addicts think they can control it. But honestly, I do control it to some extent. Like, I don't impulse buy, so somehow I feel like I'm better than other people because I don't impulse buy, but I do still shop. But I also admit, like, I'm never going to stop shopping. I know that about myself. I have no intention of stopping. I might take breaks and I might be like, I need to calm down. Let me go on this like shopping ban, which I've done in the past. But I know I find enjoyment in having new things and buying new things. And some people who don't need to buy new clothes baffle me. No, but do you ever just like
For
look
sure.
people in your life who like never need to buy new clothes, and I'm like, how where does
Yeah.
your money just like it just sits in your account, and you, and you just don't buy any stuff? Like what?
I wish I like it's too high up on my priority list for spending money. Do you like but shopping is.
Yeah, it is.
Like it is honestly like it's important to me.
Yeah, and you know what?
Which
I will.
sounds so like so vapid.
It is, but however, I
Look, I
think
don't do cocaine, okay?
yeah,
Like
no.
let me have something.
I
Some
have
people snort money up their nose.
I have also recently come to understand that there are some people out there more insane than I am. No, about buying clothes.
God.
Some people are
Some
buying
people get themselves in debt over buying clothes.
exactly. Some people put themselves in insane debt over buying clothes. And then I've also learned that there are people out there close to me who I would not have thought are worse than me,
Yeah.
but they are like
But they're
you
secret.
and my sister.
But I go through phases. I'll have months where I'm like, Scarlett, calm down. And then like I could not buy something for ages.
Fair enough.
Mine's definitely emotional.
Okay,
Shopping.
mine's not emotional. I'm consistently dedicated to the cause.
I'm
of
an
shopping.
emotional shopper. If I'm sad, like I'll reward myself. Yeah.
Oh.
If
Yeah.
I'm angry, I'll I'll do some angry shopping.
Yeah.
I had a few weeks where I didn't sleep good, and I would do some real like 2 a.m. shopping.
That's the worst time.
Yeah.
That is the worst time.
I mean, did I buy some great things? Sure, I did.
Yeah. Well.
But do I wish I had more money? Yeah.
I say I'm enjoying it. But to the initial question of, do we think we have too much clothing? And I think for me, 100% yes. But will I stop? No, because I genuinely enjoy it, and I genuinely like wearing it, and I feel like life is for enjoyment, and it's like, it's one of those things that it is the best thing you can do if you're going to buy stuff is wear it. That's how I view it.
Yeah, and actually, I think we talked about this earlier. We're both fortunate enough that we haven't really changed in size too much from when we were younger. So we also have the pleasure of owning things for a long amount of time. And so like I have this issue for sure. Like I'm like, well, it still fits.
Yeah.
It's like you don't wear it though. You haven't worn it for 5 years. It's like, but it fits. And we know style comes back around. And I've definitely made the mistake before of throwing something out and now wishing I have it. Not many things,
but I've had that feeling before,
and it's disgraceful.
I will never do that to myself again.
But so I am much more reluctant on that. Like even in like terms of gym leggings, there was a phase where like patterned gym leggings were really cool.
Yeah.
And we're now in a phase where block color, plain is the cool thing. And I've got a drawer of patterned leggings. But like, at some point you're gonna want the pattern again, but I'm gonna get rid of them.
And then you're gonna regret it when it comes.
I don't think I will, because I think my thing is that plain never dies.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what like I'm keeping, like whatever I keep in my wardrobe, and the things I lose love with quickest are patterns.
But that's the thing, you're gonna get to a phase where you think,
and then but
now everything's so boring. Now everything I own is so boring, and being maximalist and creative is going to be the thing in. Yeah. You're going to be like, shit, I was on that wave.
Why did I get rid of my leopard print leggings?
Exactly. I think you should keep leopard print. I think leopard print is a neutral, and I've said this before.
I agree. I don't have leopard print leggings.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I do have a blue pair, but that's not neutral. But I believe leopard print is a neutral.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so the article in Business of Fashion also, there was a bit where it goes, it's a bit of a David and Goliath thing. We're up against the marketing machine of an industry worth $2 trillion. And that is a quote by Aisha Barenblatt, who's the founder and exec of Remake. And I think that's so correct. Like, we are one person against the machine. Like, as I said, I've come to terms with the fact that Zara has a store in every city I've ever been to in my life, and if I pass it, I may want to go inside. And you know, I can turn a blind eye for only so long, but at the end of the day, it's like I think we can try to
Do I buy a
control.
fridge?
The fridge is not necessary right now. I can control my habits, but to say that I will stop and like unplug from like the matrix is a lie.
I also think this is our pleasure, right? This is why we do this podcast. Like, fashion is our pleasure. And that might, like, different people have different hobbies. But like, it is our pleasure. It is something we enjoy. I think that plays into it. And I also think that, yeah, like I think there's a big thing, isn't there, at the moment? A big push of like, what is your money for?
Oh, have you been watching on Netflix I Can Make You Rich?
No, I actually haven't.
Well, he has a thing about putting money in areas that you enjoy in life. It's not about like hoarding all your money.
But like, what are you saving it for? And obviously there are like, you know, safety, for like financial stability. There's like really reliable things. But there are lots of people that are like desperate to die with loads of money, and like, where is it going, and all of that stuff. But I also think that we are in the most intense era that like people have lived in. I say that as someone who hasn't experienced any of it. But I think with the internet, I think with comparison culture, I think with this fast-paced life we live, I think with the fact that we're trying to be everything, and we're trying to be homeowners in a time where inflation's crazy, and mortgage rates are high, and like all of this stuff. We're also being fed like, well, now you can have 100% mortgages. We can make it possible, but we don't know what that means. Like, we're being duped into these like things. But I'm going to be a homeowner, but I'm also going to be a sassy businesswoman. But I'm also going to be that person who makes sourdough at the weekends. I'm also going to be that person who shows up to all my friends' events. I'm going to go to my friend's wedding abroad. And like, where does all that money come from? And you're meant to buy Hermes and have a sales assistant there. Like, but that's on our feeds, right? That is the life we're being fed. And then you're meant to have a side hustle because a 9 to 5 is like, is disgusting.
No.
And so like, we're in this generation where like, well, you've got to go and spend it on things that you enjoy. Retail therapy, you know? Maybe you should go to an actual therapist.
Yeah.
But I think like, it's the thing you enjoy, and it's not like you're out there just going crazy.
Well, I think like moderation is the key, isn't it? And I think in general, yes, we just have far too many clothes, and I don't, in the West at least, I don't see it slowing down. And is it sad in some ways? Yeah, because
I feel really embarrassed. Like, I have a spare room, and it's just basically chaos. But it's where I often will put my washing before I put it away, or something like that. And it could get to a point where it piles up on the bed in there. And I feel disgusted that my wardrobes still look full. And there's like that, like, all I've got, it's more like if I've gone away on holiday, I do all my washing. And so there's like an entire like 2 weeks worth of clothes, probably more, because you pack too much for a holiday. And my wardrobe still looks full. And I feel disgusted. And like the other day I ran out of hangers and I had to buy more. And I was like, I feel disgusted with myself.
Yeah. I mean, I recently moved, and it's a 3-bed, and
and she needs more wardrobe space.
Well, yeah, we bought it with the idea that we were having a walk-in wardrobe. Because no one else lives with us, and we felt like, a 3rd bedroom for walk-in was absolutely necessary. And not only because we have clothes and we want,
and you've just gone from a 1 bed and had to try and fit them all in there.
Yeah, of course. So it's like a luxury in that sense. But the walk-in wardrobe growing up was kind of new thing to the UK. It was a new thing to the UK, wasn't it?
It's just not really a thing, but yeah.
Yeah, it was like, it was something that was kind of brought over from the States. And
Yeah.
if you were lucky enough to have like a room that had wardrobes and stuff, it was still very much a luxury. Now we see everyone's custom built, you know, wardrobe spaces, especially a lot in the States, but increasingly so here. And that's been normalized. And everyone's set up their wardrobe like a store, which I think is weird. I hate that. Color coordinate bag with the shoes and all of that. And we forget that it's like we have whole bedrooms, as you said, with the sole purpose of housing our clothing. And we've become detached from the what that really means. And so we're just going to continue to buy clothes to fill that space and to create a storefront looking third bedroom. But yeah, I don't know. As I said, I'm not slowing down, even though I have too many clothes, but whatever.
I think the funny thing is, because I definitely don't throw stuff out enough.
Okay.
So I just accumulate. And that's kind of gross if you think, like, a house can only be so big. So even if I have a 5-bedroom house, at some point I'm going to fill that if I don't throw things out.
The key is to filtering out stuff.
So, but like, I need to learn that.
You've been saying this for years,
of
Scarlett.
course. But like, so my issue is, right, I'm gonna use like sweats as an example.
Okay.
So I never used to own like tracksuits until the pandemic. And then I bought like 3 sets. Okay. One of them I've worn so much that the trousers are really short on me.
Are they from the Adenola?
No, they were from ASOS.
Oh, I see.
All 3 sets were from ASOS.
Okay.
But one pair of trousers I think I wore the most, but also just like, I'm not that tall, but like I also want to wear sweatpants high waisted.
Yeah.
I'm not a low rise girl. They just look like pedal pushers now on me, but they're still kind of like, oh, they're comfy. I'd wear them at home, but I wouldn't maybe wear them out.
Yeah.
I have one pair that like have paint on from when I helped my brother with like painting his house, but I'm like, I should keep those
for when you need a messy one.
For when I need a messy pair, but that's not a pair I'm ever going to wear now in the house.
Yeah.
Then I also have a pair.
Yeah. No, I'm following.
Like, and then I also have a pair that like it's still possible to wear out, but then I've replaced the pair that got short and the paint pair. I've replaced those with ones that I now can wear outside.
Yeah, because you need to go back to the baseline of 3 wearable sets.
So now I've got 5, and I've probably got more than that. I've definitely bought a Vanderpump Rules pair.
Seriously?
Of course. Send it to Daryl if anyone knows.
Hold on, I need to see this.
But like, this is my issue: is that like a drawer that could house 3 can't house 5.
Yeah.
But I've got a reason for 5. But I think what it is I need to just like put my paint overalls elsewhere. And you know, but it feels ridiculous to hold on to like some paint splattered sweats. But I actually think it's a really practical thing.
It is really practical, but this is me as someone who likes to shop agreeing with your logic, because I have the same logic. Okay.
But it's an illness.
I honestly think drawers aren't very big. You are not the problem. The drawers are the problem.
I agree.
Wardrobes aren't very big.
You know
either.
what? Like, they're also bulky items.
See, this is the same sort of rationalization I have.
I have this issue with jumpers as well.
I buy a lot of jumpers, okay, a lot of knitwear, and they don't fit anywhere.
You're correct. I also have some jumpers that I know I'm never going to wear again, but they're still there.
And yeah, I don't really know what to say other than like, the thing is if you like to shop, you're always going to find newness in like even the smallest detail. Like, I saw a jumpsuit that I'm thinking about buying, I have 2 jumpsuits. The last jumpsuit I bought was blue, and I bought it thinking it's such a neutral denim colour.
I have so many jumpsuits.
I can wear this anytime I need a jumpsuit, that's a go-to option. Okay, because the one I had previous was pink. Yeah, still great.
It's great.
But not neutral. This one that I have my eye on is a khaki olive colour.
I've got a khaki.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I've got too many jumpsuits.
But I can rationalize anything that I've come to the point where it's like, I do not need to justify anything that I buy now because they're all bullshit reasons. Yeah. The reason I want to buy it is because it's a new month. It's a new paycheck. And I can afford it. I can afford, as long as I'm like responsible and I have like a roundabout budget, then why the hell not? You know?
Yeah. It's tough out there.
It is. And we can't fight against the machine of advertising and influencers and celebrity culture and all of that.
We just have to join it.
Let us know what you think about shopping, your shopping habits. Have they spiraled out of control?
Are your drawers big enough?
Yeah, do you have a walk-in wardrobe?
Can you send Mim some ideas?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, IKEA packs is everywhere on my timeline.
Yeah, but you can build it in really nicely.
Yeah, you can make them look fitted. Yeah.
He even like painted his own, all of it.
I want to paint mine.
You need to really prime them well.
Yes, because they're slippery.
Sand and prime. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you could sand them, but see,
I
there you
don't know if you can.
Ideas.
Yeah.
Let us know what your situation at home is. Do you have too many clothes? What's your view on people also that shop too much?
I get told of people at work call me bougie.
But that's because you have a posh voice.
No, I think they mean it because I spend a lot of money on things. I think they think I lead a bougie lifestyle.
But you do.
I mean.
So anyway, if you like this episode, listen to us and listen to all our previous episodes on podcast listening platforms. We're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.